cry so bad. I used to be in the bath, the hospital bath, bathing and crying. Go back in the bed, crying. Everything was just a cry. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Karenza's Colors, and that's Colors with a K. Today we're doing a story time, and this story time is basically like a continuation of labor and delivery part 1 and labor and delivery part 2. Y'all, if y'all hear that noise, that's my fan. This baby just be working real hard because outside it's real hot, and it's key like this noise. Good. Back on roll. But not only am I doing a story time, I would be on doing my hair. Y'all see me looking right here. I am looking at myself, and I'll be cutting out the rubber bands and taking out this braid. After giving birth, the nurse pushed my bed to the ward, right? And it was like three other women. I ain't sure if they had boys or girls, but 3 other women gave birth with me that night, and we all got pushed to the ward. Nighttime wasn't bad. My son, he just nursed me the whole night. I barely get a little bit of sleep. Like, I ain't get much sleep, and you know, like, I was like kind of excited that he was born, like to show he off and thing, because he was so cute. He was so cute. So I was kind of excited. And you know, like the balloon, I got this balloon. Huh? He is so cute. My sister behind me correcting me. He's so cute. And like, y'all see this balloon? This was given to me by his auntie. It's a boy. I got another balloon too, but that burst, pop, whatever. So on the morning, the doctors and the nurses in training or whatever will come and check you to make sure that you good, make sure that the baby good. And so this doctor now, my doctor was a man on this particular day, because I stayed at the hospital for like 3 days, but on this particular day there was a man. This was the day after my labor and delivery. My doctor was a man. You know, the doctor will come and do the random checkups on the baby, and he was just saying that your baby's heart rate is going real fast. I was like, I mean, the heart rate going real fast, like what really going on? Like I can't understand. Right, so he was saying the baby heart rate fast, and I was just like, okay. And he was like, we may have to take the baby to ICU. So I was like, okay, you gotta take the baby to ICU, okay. So the nurse now, so he called the nurse, which was the nurses that was on the ward. He called him and was like, yeah, this baby gotta go to ICU. He writed his papers, etc, etc. So the nurses was like, come mommy, we taking baby to ICU. While we was walking down there now, the nurse tell me, oh my god, you so brave, you ain't crying or nothing. Like, honestly, right, I did not know that when the baby go in ICU that they just there and you can't be there with them. I thought that you would be there with them, but no, you're not going to be there with them, and that's the sad part. So she was like, you so brave, you're not even crying or nothing. And then when we got in the elevator, then we got there, and when she carried Nikwan into the ICU department, I just sit in the waiting room and started to cry. Yep, I started to cry, and I was like, oh my gosh, what I do wrong during the pregnancy? Like, I can't believe that something wrong with my child. Like, what I did wrong. I tried to do everything. I eat properly, I lay down on the left side, you know, I exercise, I walk around. I was like, what I did wrong that my child deserved to go in the ICU? Okay, so that was a very sad moment. there. And then when the nurse came out, she saw me crying and she just hugged me and told me that everything is going to be alright. But how could you tell somebody whose child just got taken away from them that everything is going to be alright? Like, no. I still continued to cry and I still felt hurt. So we both walked back to the ward now, and I went and lay down, still crying because I felt really bad. I was still crying. And the nurses came to give the new mothers, because you know, as a new mother, don't matter what age you are, as a new mother, you're going to always need a lecture about children and how to raise the kids, etc. So they was giving us lectures on how to deal with baby and cut your nails, etc. So while giving the lecture, you know, after lectures they always ask a question, and like, I know my turn was coming around, but I honestly was not paying attention to them. Like, all the mothers was just laying down in our bed and they was standing up talking, and I was not paying attention to them. I was just there crying, and I feel so bad. I was crying in front of 4 other mothers in the room with me, because like my child was in ICU, and it was just like heartbreaking. So then a question came to me. I honestly cannot remember what she had asked me. I knew the answer though, but I didn't have the energy to answer she, because at this point I was still depressed at the fact that my child in ICU. So yeah, it was a very depressing moment. So the other nurse, no, it was 2 nurses lecturing. The other nurse was like, just skip her, because like she couldn't understand how I felt, so she just skipped me. I spent like 3 nights in the hospital, and I mean, like, these nights I could not really sleep. Because I was watching other mothers dealing with their baby, and my baby was in NICU, and that was so like heartbreaking. Like, the nights I could not sleep, I was always wondering, where my Nikwan? I gave birth to Nikwan. I only spent 1 night with him, and that was like, that is so sad. And you know what's the worst part? Visiting hours. Like, ooh, visiting hours. The other mothers had people coming to see them and their baby, and I was just in there laying down. So you see, when visiting hours came, I would always go in the NICU to look for Nikwan, because like, people used to look at you. People used to look at me strange, like, where her baby, or what she doing in here, or, you know, like, people used to look at me so strange. So I used to go to the NICU and look for Nikwan around visiting hours. It was only once when my brother came and looked for me, and he laid down in the bed for me, and he was like, Kennisha, you crying now, but when you gotta deal with he, you gonna be up all night and yada. But to be honest, I didn't worry about being up all night, because during my pregnancy, I already noted that this is what is going to happen, so prepare for it. So it didn't really like bug me or whatever, to be honest. The day after, the morning, my mother and my sisters came to visit me, and they wanted to see Nikwan, but I don't think that they knew Nikwan was in the NICU, because that was the same morning that the doctor came and checked and tell me that the baby's heart rate is fast. They was telling me. So they came looking for Nikwan, and when they saw me, it was like my eyes, the bottom of my eyes was so puffy, big, swollen. I mean, I used to cry so bad. I used to be in the bath, the hospital bath, bathing and crying, go back in the bed crying. Everything was just a cry. I had this friend, she named Kennisha. I gonna call she name, because she was a girlfriend. She was telling me that her child, the same thing happened to her child, and she know how it does me, and she was telling me everything gonna be good, and yeah, everything gonna be good. Right now my voice sounds like it's crying, because thinking about it, it was real sad. Like, it was so sad. Right, so going back to when my mother and my sister came, then was like, where Nikwan? They wanted to see Nikwan. Everybody wanted to see Nikwan, but Nikwan was in ICU, and in ICU only the mother and the father could continue going in multiple times, but the grandmothers or grandfathers could only go in once. So my mother got to see him, but my sisters did not get to see him, which I feel kind of bad because like my youngest sister, she wanted to see him so bad, but she did not get to see him. Of the Wednesday, no, there was like, Kennisha, you can't go home. The nurses was really nice to me because like most of them was young and they had like this hot hair still. If I find a picture, I would insert it. I had a nice hot hair still because you know, like when you prepare to give birth, cannot wash your hair 6 weeks after giving birth. So I made sure I got a hairstyle. There was like, oh, you're gonna bright colors, you know, Karenza's colors. My hair had to be bright. I was dismissed, but Nikwan was still at the hospital, so daily I had to go up there to nurse him or to be with him or whatever. And around this time, while you nursing your baby, you're supposed to be in a room with other mothers who nursing their baby. So like you're in a room with other mothers, they're gonna form a conversation or whatever. So this other mother, she was telling me that she had a bad experience in the ICU where her child had died, but it was different set of nurses. And I mean, like, this was scaring me because I was just telling myself, oh my gosh, don't let my child dead, please. Like, that would be so hurtful to, like, you know, burn a child and your child dead. Like, I can't deal with that. She was telling me that I don't think it's wrong to speak her business because there's no face to her story or whatever, but she was just telling me that at the funeral of the baby that she had her period, her menstrual cycle, and the blood was dripping all down her foot. That's how heartbreaking it was. So I was telling myself, so Kennisha, you in here crying because you child gone in ICU, and this other woman, she lost a child. So that made me like, you know what, don't be selfish, keep your head up, your child still living, just go hard for your child, you know what I mean? The first 2 or 3 days when I was visiting the quantity ICU after I got dismissed, every time I come out I used to cry. When he first went there, he was in an incubator and like all of these, I don't know, the whatever was attached to him, and it made the situation look so terrible, like your child dying. Like, I believe that every mother that went through this, it was so heartbreaking, and like I couldn't deal with it. Like, I really could not deal with it. Y'all can see my eyes, like, it was so heartbreaking. So Nikwan was getting better and he was able to move from the ICU to the children's ward, which is see something at QH hospital. All my Bajan people, y'all will know QH hospital. It was see something, and we was in the baby section, which was so cold. And it's so cold, it has air condition. It was really cold. That made me feel a little better because I was able to stay with him and sleep there. In this ward now, this is mommy and baby time. This is where I actually had to prove to myself if I could have been a good mother or what. Nikwan was so clingy. As an experienced mother, they will tell you, oh, don't let the child sleep with you and yada yada yada. You can spoil the child or whatever, but I do everything that an experienced mother would say not to do. Like letting the child sleep with me, letting the child sleep in my hand. Everything that an experienced mother would tell you not to do, I did it. Yep. Do what you want to do, because any day is your child. But I spoiled my child, yes I did. I spoiled my child because of the experience that I went through. The fact that he was in NICU and all the tears that I shed, I chose to spoil him. I couldn't really get any visitors. The only person that could come into this room was the baby daddy. So yes, he was there, but he wasn't sleeping there because it was only a single bed and a crib in the room. Anybody that experienced that would know. And there used to be so creepy. I mean, like, give God thanks and praise if your child come up perfect here, because in there is creepy. On nights or on days when I go into bed or when I go into the bathroom or whatever, or to use the phone, I would have to walk past a whole set of children. And I mean, like, it's really sad how these children look. Some children getting feed through a tube, like the experience that I saw, it really told me, Kennisha, you waste your tears, because look at these other kids and look at these other parents and look at what these other parents going through with their children. Like it was really scary. It was really an experience that you could live for to share. Some children had, like, I don't want to be rude or whatever, but the head was big or whatever. Yeah, it was really, like, it was really scary walking down the aisle and seeing parents sad because their child not, like, as energetic or as whatever. It really showed me, Kennisha, you don't really have no right praying, because there are other parents going through worse things than you. Hospital nurses and doctors will come and check on the progress every morning just to make sure that you still good, you baby getting better. Nikon, he had to get antibiotics. Yeah, he had to get antibiotics. So that is what pushed us, that is what made us stay so long, because he was better but he still had to get the antibiotics. And I don't know, like, why I could not take him home and then bring him daily to get the antibiotics. No, they wanted me to stay in the hospital, so whatever. So that's what I had to do.
So I got to share my part of the story,
and she could finish on do the rest because it is tired. But remember when I told y'all that my mother and my sisters came to look for me at the hospital? I just let y'all know what really happened, because she was there, so you could go and talk.
We the hug first, then we went to the ICU?
No, we went to the ICU first.
So we went to the ICU. So I was vexed because I did not get to see me porn. I didn't know it was an ICU. I didn't know what was going on in there. So like, I didn't really like sad because I didn't know what was going on. But I was just vexed because I couldn't see. And then I had this little boy that was in that waiting room with me and my sister. And the doctor, the little boy was crying. So the doctor was like, that he gonna see his sister and his brother. So I had to get a little jealous because I don't want to go in there, but I couldn't go in there for some reason.
Yeah.
And then we went out. And then like, she started crying.
Yeah, because like, while there was in the waiting room, me and my mother and I, we was in the ICU looking at Nikon. He was in the incubator, and my mother was like, he got a passion because he was crying. So that's what make it even more sad. The fact that your child, I call it an aquarium at first, but it's an incubator. The fact that your child in the incubator connected to all of these things and crying, it really makes it look as though your child dying, and it look really horrified and what's not. So when we came out the room now, I start to like cry because I really can't take no so I can't take no so I started to cry, and my mother hugged me, and then all my sisters just come and hug me, and it was like, it gonna be alright. And then she started crying. Everybody just started crying, like a contagious cry, because like it was real sad for me. It was really sad.
And then we went and bought food.
Yeah.
Am I really happy?
I didn't really have no appetite. Like, even like I was sharing my food with I was friends with this girl next to me in the bed, and I gave she my tea and things. I was like, oh, I really had no appetite at all. I had no appetite. I was just thinking like fat Nikon in this ICU, and it's just sad.
But now he's here today.
Period. Strong and healthy.
Alive and well.
Period.
Thank God. He's so sweet and so cute, and he's sleeping behind me.
Yes.
I am going to be doing her hair in the next video, so
yes. You're saying that if you made it to the end of this video, comment. What is your comment?
Give thanks.
Comment, give thanks. And don't forget to like, share our comment, and subscribe.
a lie.